So, UFC Fight Night Vegas 35, Barboza versus Chikadze just took place, and I'm going to go through the entire card and give my reaction and breakdown for every single fight on the card, starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event, and at the end of this video I'll also give my event recap and overall opinion on the card itself, starting with the early prelim opener of Martinez versus Guido Cannetti. Very close fight to start off the card. I picked Martinez by first round TKO. I was wrong. Guido Cannetti is a very, very tough man. Actually, I thought won the first round against Martinez, but I thought Martinez won the second round, also won the third round as well. He just seemed to have more in the tank than Guido Cannetti did in this fight, and that's really what won it for him, man. Good body work, couple of great body shots in the second round that he landed. He had one moment where he really, really badly rocked Guido Cannetti, really badly, and ended up landing a bunch of body shots against a cage. I think that was the turning point of the fight. I think his body work against a cage was very good. His kicks were very good as well, and I think he just mixed it up a little bit better than Guido Cannetti. Cannetti kept going to the legs of Martinez, but it wasn't really having too much of an effect on him. Close fight, very close fight, don't get me wrong, but I had it 2-1 Martinez based on the second and third round. Obviously, the third round, he basically walked down Guido Cannetti the whole time and really badly hurt him on a couple of occasions. Really good win by Martinez. Don't know how it was a split decision, but I guess the second round is kind of close. Great win by him, and he was recovering. Of course, his coach died in the build-up to this fight. Adrian Yanez, his teammate, both of their coaches is now gone. Rest in peace. Very emotional afterwards. Good win from him. Maybe he can fight the tough finale winner next. Who knows? We'll get to that in a second. Good win by Guido, by Martinez. Moving on up the card, Jamaal Emmers versus Pat Sabatini. I'm going to go, well, I went with Jamaal Emmers to win this one. And it looked like he was going to win the one, to be honest with you. I thought he was going to win this fight against Pat Sabatini. Looked really good in the first round. Was smashing Pat Sabatini on the feet pretty easily, if you ask me. Amazing shots on the feet. Really clipped Pat Sabatini quite badly. Sabatini ends up getting knocked down. Jamaal Emmers goes to the ground with him, and I thought he was doing really, really well on the ground. Amazingly well on the ground. Really great job by Jamaal Emmers, living up to the reason why I picked him to win this fight by first round TKO or decision, however it would have went. Then, after being on the ground with Sabatini, having some good scrambles, and taking full mount a couple of times as well, and actually landing some decent shots, I think he almost had a rear naked choke in at one point, Sabatini ends up going for a leg, and at this point, Jamaal Emmers dives for a toe hold. Now, toe holds don't really work if they're not working immediately. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the strength to immediately make someone tap to a toe hold, you're not going to gain the strength 30 seconds into the squeeze of that toe hold. Do you understand? There's certain, it's like the theory of diminishable returns or something like that, I think is the name of the actual thing about this. You don't get more as you continue going in this, okay? And I feel like that's kind of what it was. You don't get the toe hold immediately. It's the same way you don't get a calf splicer immediately. You're not going to all of a sudden, 30 seconds into your squeeze, be able to squeeze harder than you could in the first few seconds to get that toe hold win. Ended up going for the leg. Pat Sabatini got the heel hook. Jamaal Emmers just should have postured up, stayed on top, but he chose not to. Stupid move, and he loses because of it. Probably going to get cut by the UFC as well. But Pat Sabatini, really good win. Submission in the first round. Great win by Pat Sabatini. Capitalized on the mistake of Jamaal Emmers leaving his leg in a compromised position and did it very well. Good job by Pat Sabatini. Moving on up the card, JJ Aldrich versus Vanessa Demopulous. I picked JJ Aldrich by third round TKO. I thought I was going to get a third round TKO, but credit to Demopulous. She was very, very tough. Had a decent first round with JJ Aldrich. After that, it started to really get away with her, though. First round was very close. Both girls landing decent shots. I thought JJ Aldrich won the first round. Other than that, though, second round was just all JJ Aldrich, landing big shots, landing body kicks, landing leg kicks. Third round was even more in favour of JJ Aldrich, just being way better than Vanessa Demopulous, to be honest with you. Good body work, good headshots all the time, good crisp boxing. Vanessa Demopulous would have a couple of good exchanges where she landed some decent shots, but eventually she would shoot for a takedown, fail the takedown, get kneed to the body, get reversed, get tagged to the face again, got really badly rocked in the third round, really badly hurt to the body at one point as well. Still continued to fight on and survived until the final bell, so credit to her on short notice. But JJ Aldrich, Just a little bit too much for her in those later rounds, and maybe the full camp is purely the only reason that was why it happened. But JJ Aldrich looks way more improved. She trains with good people as well. Valentina Shevchenko, Rose Namajunas. She looked improved, and she looked like she actually could be something in a division. So, good win. She got it 30-27. I could see 29-28, but I think it was 30-27. Moving on up the card, Dustin Jacoby versus Darren Stewart. I picked Dustin Jacoby to win this one. I thought he would win it by first round TKO at the end of the first round, or maybe the second round. I can't remember what I said. I think it was one of the early rounds at least. And he ended up getting a first round TKO over Darren Stewart, man. Really good win. The stoppage was a bit weird, if I remember correctly. I'm not too sure, but Darren Stewart was... No, it wasn't. It was, again, like the Barboza stoppage. Darren Stewart popped right back up afterwards, but the way he went down was like a Mark Hunt delayed knockdown where he slumped over and then started to slowly face plant the canvas. Darren Stewart got TKO'd, man. Not a good look for him up at light heavyweight. Was a little bit too small. You could see immediately once he failed to sort of get the clinch game going and the takedown game going, and Jacoby was able to survive that and get back to his feet and land some good knees in the clinch, and Stewart wasn't really able to muscle him around anymore. As soon as Stewart wasn't able to muscle him around, you could see the fight kind of changing immediately. Jacoby got more confidence, didn't worry about the takedowns anymore, landed really good shots on the chin of Darren Stewart, had a really wild exchange at the end, don't get me wrong, but waited for his moment. Darren Stewart overthrew some shots while being rocked. Jacoby caught him with a left hook, I believe, that put him down. Face planted the canvas, but got right back up afterwards. Fair stoppage in my opinion. Dustin Jacoby gets it done by first round TKO. Moving on up the card, Sam Alvey versus Wellington Turman. Now, this one is interesting. Interesting decision, but is it an interesting decision? Because in my opinion, Sam Alvey won the third round, and that would mean a 10-7 round. In all honesty. That wasn't a fart, it was my chair making a noise. Of course it won't make that noise now. I would own if I farted it. I would really own my fart if I did. That was my chair making a noise. Either way, Sam Alvey lost the third round, I guess, which means that 2 points being taken away just makes it a round win for Sam Alvey, which meant that they ended up giving it to Wellington Turman 28-27. I actually understand it, but listen up, Sam Alvey. He's always so angry at the judges. Fucking do something, you fucking lousy cunt. It's so annoying. I know you got eye poked about 5 fucking times, and the guy took 2 points away, I get it. But man, you're standing there doing nothing but back up and check hook for the entire 3 rounds. You can't be angry at that. It was maybe a bad decision. Maybe it should have gone towards Sam Alvey or become a draw or something like that because of the way it was scored. I just think it's weird. And that's how the 10-point must system works. You don't just get 1 point extra than your opponent. You lower their point as well. So winning a round changes 2 points. So with a 2 point delay, if you win a round, you can make it a 10-7. But if you lose a round, it's still just barely your round. Which is interesting, I guess. But that's how the must system works. Like when you win a round, you get a point and your opponent loses a point. But when you just lose a point, it's just off of yours total of the 10-point must system. Very strange way. I think it could have been a draw. Could have been a 10-7 in the third for Alvey if he won it. But oh well. They went to Wellington Turman. He's the younger guy. And Sam Alvey's shit anyway, so fuck him. Moving on up the card to the headliner of the prelims. Alessio de Chirico versus Abdul Razak Alhassan. Wow. Okay, I forgot about this one. I picked Alessio de Chirico to win. He got head kicked immediately in round 1 and flattened and walk-off KO'd by Abdul Razak Alhassan. It's just how the sport goes, you know what I mean? It was the first strike he threw of the fight. De Chirico landed a front kick to the body. Then there was another kick that was blocked or something like that. And then he just was hesitant. Abdul threw a head kick and he literally, so unluckily, I know that it's skill and it is kind of luck though, you know what I'm saying, when you get these kind of KOs. First strike he throws, the Chirico dips right into it, dude. Right into that head kick perfectly, right on the shin, right to the dome, gets sent the other way round, slumped to the canvas. Good win by Abdul Razak Alhassan, but man, unlucky for Alessio de Chirico. He literally went straight into that kick. If he just stayed where he was and kept good head position and just didn't even move his head, maybe he wouldn't even have been KO'd. But the fact that he dipped way into it, I guess he maybe thought it was going to be a body kick, so he wanted to maybe protect his ribs, lower his arms, something like that. He dips right into the head kick. Abdul Razak Alhassan got a first round KO. It just annoys me because he's 36 and he's never going to be a champ. But good win by Abdul Razak Alhassan, got himself a bonus and saved his career as well. And I feel proud of him because of the false charge that he got. I feel bad for his career, so good to see him get a win and keep his career. Moving on up the card, Makhmud Muradov versus Gerald Meerschaert. Oh my fucking... I picked Makhmud Muradov. You know why? You have to. You have to. This wasn't, and people are going to say comeback finish for Gerald Meerschaert, and don't get me wrong, it was a bit of a comeback. But it wasn't, though. He really did do okay against Muradov. Muradov had him hurt in the first round, landed some really good shots in the first round against Gerald Meerschaert. I thought that Meerschaert was going to get finished immediately. But then the second round comes around, and not even the second round. The second part of the first round comes around. Muradov is completely gassed, it looks like, okay? Not a good look for Muradov, gassing out halfway through a round of MMA. Not a good look at all. He really overthrew some shots, threw 68 shots in the first round compared to the 37 of Gerald Meerschaert. Meerschaert was way more effective. And I'll tell you this, it wasn't just some random scramble where Meerschaert ended up on the back and rear naked choked him. That's what happened in the finish, but that wasn't the reason that he won. He was really starting to tune up Muradov. Landing some good shots on the feet with the hands. Landing head kicks. I want to say he landed about 5 head kicks on this phenom kickboxer, Makhmud Muradov. This sport makes no fucking sense at all, man. Makes no fucking sense. He got mollywopped in that first round by Muradov and just took him. Somehow rejuvenated his chin after the Chimaev bout. Maybe this makes Chimaev look really good. Maybe Chimaev just landed a perfect shot and Meerschaert did shit himself in that one as well. But Meerschaert gets a good win. Good for him. Got himself a bonus as well. Muradov is done. Meerschaert's never going to be champ, so that's a waste of a contender. Muradov's going to have to bounce back and hopefully get to a title shot by the time he's 35. So that's another wasted contender as well. 2 birds, 1 stone. Meerschaert will never be champ. Muradov will never be champ. Moving on up the card to another fight which happened, which was Andre Petroski versus Michael Gillmore. Or Mikhail Gillmore, sorry, to use his name incorrectly as he spelt it. Andre gets it done in the third round by TKO. Pretty good fight for him. Glad that he went for the finish in the third round, in all honesty. Definitely won the first round. Close on the feet early. Ended up getting a takedown, controlling it there, having a couple of good positional moments, landing some good total strikes on the ground, and some good significant strikes as well. Round 2 comes around. I actually gave that one to Mikhail Gillmore. Thought he won round 2. And honestly, it looked like Andre Petroski was gassing out. Did not look good on the feet. Got tagged a couple of times as well. Failed a couple of takedowns in the second round. Andre Petroski just wasn't looking good. Looked very sloppy on the feet. Really over lumbersome with his hooks. He looked a bit like Ryan Spann, drunken style, kind of in that first round. Pre-improved Ryan Spann, that is. Very lumbersome. Very slow. Overthrowing his shots, getting caught on the chin a couple of times. Round 3 comes around, he flicks a fucking switch. I don't know how fighters do this. In round 2, he can't get takedowns. In round 3, he blitzes straight across the fucking octagon, double legs, lifts up the fucker, slams him to the canvas, and beats the shit out of him. Good stuff from Petroski. Good to see that in the third round as well, because he always mentioned he gasses out. He also gassed out on the Ultimate Fighter as well. Lost to Brian Battle because of gassing out in the later rounds after winning on early. But yeah, good win by Andre Petroski. Wants to move down to the welterweight division. Got the TKO at the end of the third. We'll see what his career has in store for him. I don't know if he's going to do too much. It didn't look too good. Moving on up the card. Kevin Lee versus Daniel Rodriguez. Okay. Kevin Lee lost. He could have won. He lost. Unfortunate for Kevin Lee. His career needs a real reality check. Daniel Rodriguez, I'm proud of him. He's basically 18-0, undefeated, because both of his split decision losses are absolute bullshit. Should be 18-0. Really looking forward to his next bout. Made 50-50 this card as well. Good for fucking D-Rod. 50-50 and an 11k Reebok bonus. Good money for D-Rod now. Great contract for himself. Yeah. Kevin Lee lost, and again, as usual, does great in the first round, shit talking at the end of the first round, talking about how good he's doing. He was doing amazingly in the first round, got the takedown, landed good shots on the feet, had some good stand-up moments, front kicked the shit out of Daniel Rodriguez's body. Round 2 comes around, and it's Kevin Lee, and the guy in Daniel, and I don't get this, Kevin Lee needs to really think about quitting MMA. And I don't say that loosely. You have the same problem every fight. Every fight, you say you fixed that problem. It's your cardio. It's every fight, dude. If you aren't winning the whole time, you completely gas out. What is going on, Kevin Lee? Fix your fucking cardio. Fucking preliminary fighters can go 3 hard rounds. JJ Aldrich, Vanessa Demopulous, 3 hard rounds. I don't understand. Sam Alvey, Wellington, Turman, 3 solid rounds they went. How can Kevin Lee not manage 3 rounds? And it was all based on the second round that he lost this one. D-Rod looked good, won the end of the second, got himself the second round pretty clearly. Third round, he was just battering Kevin Lee around, even rocked him at one moment as well at the second round. Really badly at the end of the second, made Kevin Lee go jelly-legged completely. Kevin Lee, man, he went for the back take in the second round. If he just stayed on top in half guard, he probably would have won that round just by staying on top of D-Rod, because that's what he did in the first round as well. He should have stayed on top in half guard, landed total strikes to the end of round 2. He wanted a finish. I called him by second round rear naked choke anyway, so he was actually trying to listen to my prediction. Tried to take the back, ended up on bottom, lost because of that. Lost that round because of that moment anyway. Good scramble by D-Rod, much bigger than Kevin Lee. Round 3, D-Rod was just tuning him up on the feet really badly. But man, Kevin Lee, here's what I don't get, yeah? However many few days ago, under 10 it was, that Daniel Rodriguez signed this fight. As soon as he signed it, I wanted to see what he was up to. Okay? And this is a story I'll tell you. As soon as he signed this fight, I wanted to see what Daniel Rodriguez was up to. I checked his Instagram story. What is D-Rod doing upon signing this fight? 3 hours ago, on his Instagram story, D-Rod with his kids in his lap, on fucking teacup rides in Disneyland. No joke. 10 days ago, Daniel Rodriguez in fucking teacups with his kids in Disneyland. Okay? I go 2 hours ago on his Instagram story, on the day that he signed the Kevin Lee fight. 2 hours ago from when the signing happened. Look at his Instagram story. He is looking down at a desk and a table, and he's looking down, and there are 2 hot dogs covered with shit. 2 big hot dogs that he's eaten. Okay, one of them has a bite out of it already, so they're his. A chocolate milkshake, okay, and some other like party food that was there as well. Kevin Lee has been in training camp for 8 weeks. How is D-Rod out cardioing him? You know what Kevin Lee should have done? I get D-Rod won. I respect D-Rod. It was a good underdog pick, which is why I was kind of considering it the whole time, and I actually switched to Kevin Lee. Either way, Kevin Lee needs to stop his fucking training camps, clearly. Go to fucking Disneyland 10 days out from a fight or 5 days out from a fucking fight. Eat a bunch of hot dogs, drink fucking chocolate milkshake, and maybe then he'll be able to go 3 rounds. There's clearly something he's not doing that everyone else is. Everyone else seems to be able to go 3 rounds reasonably consistently, other than Kevin Lee. So fix your shit or don't show up, you prick. Feel bad for him, but it's hard to when it's the same thing every time, and he refuses to address it. He's going to move back down to 155, get another fucking head tattoo, call himself Kevin Lee 5.0, and he'll fucking act like he's fucking sent from God again and about to take over the division. Annoying as fuck. Kevin Lee lost. Good for D-Rod, though. I'm proud of him. One of my favourite fighters on the roster. Looking good as well. Got a good win against Kevin Lee. Moving on up the card. Rookie Turcois versus Brady Highstand. Fight of the night 100%. I hope this got the fight of the night bonus. Ricky Turcois, just too good for Brady Highstand. In the later rounds especially. Or the second round he actually lost to Brady Highstand, I thought. But I had him winning the first and the third round against Brady Highstand pretty clearly. I know Daniel Cormier scored it for Brady Highstand, but I think that Turcois did way more damage in the first round. Way more total strikes. I know that Brady Highstand was winning the image of the fight. He was getting a lot of takedowns. It looked like he was winning a lot of the scrambles. He just wasn't doing any damage with it. He would land a couple of good shots, but then Turcios would land a bunch of good shots, a bunch of total strikes, a good amount of elbows on bottom, hammer fists from on bottom, a couple of good shots that would cut open Brady Highstand in the first round. Second round was closer, even on strikes. Brady Highstand had the control time, give that one to him. Second round to Brady Highstand. Round 3, all Ricky Turcios. Could have been a 10-8 round, or was maybe on its way to being a 10-8 round, but it was a 10-9 in my opinion. Ricky Turcios, man, gets the job done, split decision. I understand the split decision, but I do believe that Ricky Turcios definitely won the first round based on damage, based on landing more shots, being more busy on bottom, landing little elbows as Highstand was going for the certain takedowns. You can't just grind people out anymore. You've got to do damage. Highstand didn't realise that, I guess, and Turcios gets the win, gets the job done. Round 3, Turcios actually dropped Highstand at one point pretty badly, so maybe it could have been a 10-8 round. I didn't think it was. Good scoring, 29-28 in my opinion. Turcios is someone to watch out for, man. Crazy personality. Looking forward to his next fight. Great win by Ricky Turcios. And he made some good money in his debut. I think he made 20 for 20, plus 5k, so 45 grand, plus 50 grand for the bonus. Made like just under 100k in his first fight in the UFC. Good money. I think Brady Highstand made something like 75,000. Good money for those guys. Moving on up the card, Bryan Battle versus Gilbert Urbina. Bryan Battle ends up winning the middleweight tough finale. We all know that maybe it should have been Tresean Gore that should have won the middleweight one. But Bryan Battle takes the fight with Gilbert Urbina. Has a struggling first round against Gilbert Urbina, I'll be honest. Urbina lands a lot of good shots, but after that one, you could very easily see Urbina kind of gave it everything he had to get Bryan Battle out of there, and Battle started bringing it back in the first round. I gave the first round to Urbina because he was landing way better shots and landing good shots at ground and pound as well, and a lot of them as well. But you could see at the end of the first round, 50% of strikes from Bryan Battle went to the body. Great body kicks, great front kicks to the body, great jabs to the body, great right hands to the body. He just kept ripping up the body of Urbina, and Urbina didn't do much back. He didn't throw to the legs, he didn't throw to the body himself. Bryan Battle landed a bunch of good leg kicks, a bunch of good body kicks, mixed it up to the head now and then, and eventually Gilbert Urbina just couldn't take the body shots anymore. Eventually went down to him, and yeah, Bryan Battle, man. Got the win in the second round. Very, very good stuff. Rear naked choke in a second. Wasn't really even under the chin, but he went for it anyway. You could kind of see that Gilbert Urbina was kind of mentally defeated at that moment, shelling up a little bit, not really recovering, giving up his neck a bit. Bryan Battle didn't need to see much more than that. Bryan the Boss Battle gets the win by second round submission. That should be his surname or his nickname, not fucking Pooh Bear. You're not 12 years of age, and neither are MMA fans. Bryan the Boss Battle. Perfect name. No more Pooh Bear. Fuck off. Good win in the second round, though, for Bryan Battle. Moving on up the card, Edson Barboza versus Giga Chikadze. I've done a full fight reaction to this, but if you want to check it out, go check it out. A long reaction to this fight, but Barboza looked good in the second round. First round was Chikadze. Both guys kind of feeling each other out, landing some good leg kicks, landing some good shots upstairs as well. Chikadze just landed a few more jabs, a few more shots here and there. Nothing really crazy happened in the first round, but Chikadze was just outlanding Barboza a bit enough to win that first round for sure. First round to Chikadze. Barboza started doing good in the second round. Chikadze did okay at the start of it, almost landed a big flying knee, landed some decent shots here and there. Barboza, I thought, started winning himself that round because he was ripping to the body of Chikadze, and you could see that Chikadze did not like it one bit whatsoever, really shelling up quite badly. It looked like he maybe got hurt to the body at one point as well. Barboza starts taking over at the end of the second round, goes to the stall in the third. Giga Chikadze recovers, gets his juice back, goes into the third round, really blitzes Barboza, throws a knee, and Barboza kind of made a bit of a mistake. Grabbed onto the knee like he's going for a single leg, let go of it, and all of a sudden his arms are down by his side. Giga Chikadze capitalizes, cracks Barboza on the chin, backs him up. Barboza's wobbled all over the place. Chikadze doesn't need any more invitation, goes for the finish, goes all out, swarms Barboza. Barboza ends up on the ground again to a knockdown, shoots in to try and get back up to his feet, ends up almost getting dash choked by Giga Chikadze, which is crazy. As soon as the dash choke was over, Barboza had no more air in his lungs, had just been nearly choked out conscious. Ended up trying to get back to his feet, completely gassed. One more punch from Chikadze. Barboza's too exhausted to get his legs under him. Gets put down in the third round. Chikadze's a real threat in the featherweight division. Want to see him versus like a Korean zombie next. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button up there. Toodle pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye. What a great fight card, though. let's be real, that was a really, really good fight card, and I very much enjoyed myself watching it. Let's look at the whole card. If I had to give out performance bonuses, I'm going Sabatini. I'll go with Abdul, Razak, Alhassan getting 50k. Fight of the night to Turcois versus High Stand, and then a performance bonus for Meerschaert with an underdog win, and maybe even Chikadze, but who knows, maybe not Chikadze. They only give out 2 performance bonuses, didn't they? But we'll see what they do. They should give out more performance bonuses in reality, because there were so many great wins. But great card, man. Good scrap to open up the card. Finish in the second fight. Good female fight in the third one. Finish in the Jacoby fight. Turman Alvey was kind of shit, but that's what it is. Abdul, crazy head kick. Meerschaert comeback. Petroski gets a finish. D-Rod looks great. Turcois gets a great win in a fight of the night. Battle gets a finish. Chikadze gets a finish. It was a great card overall. Like and subscribe. Click that button up there. Toodle pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye.